virtually, so I'm assuming you're all smiling at us. So welcome to our session on AI in the classroom. I'm Amber Oliver. I'm the managing director of the Robin Hood Learning and Technology Fund. We are a co-created fund among Robin Hood, Overdeck Family Foundation, Siegel Family Endowment, with the mission to tap into the power of technology to transform learning and advance achievement for students living in poverty in New York City. And I'm here today with Anu Malipatil. She is the executive director of Overdeck Family Foundation. And we're going to start our time together with a short conversation about the role of AI in education, what feels urgent, what we're still learning, before we invite, and what is possible, before we're going to invite some of our joint partners to show how they are using AI to improve outcomes for students. So, Anu, to start us off, can you share a bit about Overdeck Family Foundation's goals when it comes to AI? What you are hoping to accomplish for students, educators, and for the field?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you for having me. It's great to be here with you. So we started off with a very simple belief that our current education system isn't working for most kids, and we think that AI has the potential to improve it. We believe that AI should support, not replace teachers, and we think it can be a powerful assistant to help educators make teaching more engaging, personalized, efficient, and effective. And we also believe that AI should support, not supplant student learning. So when we consider investments at the foundation, we focus on 3 outcomes. We call it the 3 E's. 1, efficacy. Does it help students learn more? 2, efficiency. Does it scale effective teaching and learning at lower cost? And 3, does it expand capabilities? Does it add new capabilities that previously weren't possible? So we're hopeful, but we're also realistic. In the short term, there'll be lots of experimentation, and some things will work and some efforts won't. But through all of that, we're laser focused on ensuring that AI-powered tools have a meaningful impact on student outcomes and aren't just another distraction in the classroom.
Yeah, thanks, Anu. That really resonates so deeply with me, partly, I think, because one of Overdeck Family Foundation's true differentiators is your commitment to learning and continuous improvement. It's something that I've seen over the past almost decade that we've been working together. And I was wondering if you could share a little bit about what you've learned from your AI investment so far, and how that has shaped or shifted your approach today.
Yeah, of course. So our approach to AI mirrors our grant making in general. We start with a problem, we ground in data, and then we lead with evidence. So we know that AI isn't the answer to everything, and it needs a clear purpose in order to be used in classrooms. And so 18 months in, we're seeing a few key lessons or key insights. The first is that AI tools mostly focus on educators, not students. And that leaves a gap and an opportunity for tools that directly could improve student engagement and learning. Second, AI coaching for teachers shows real promise and has the potential to be more cost-effective and scalable than traditional models. And third, personalized learning through AI needs stronger evidence. As we all know, there's a lot of hype, but there's also limited evidence that AI-powered personalization leads to meaningful academic outcomes. And there even is some early evidence that it has the potential to hurt learning. So based on what we've learned so far, we're primarily investing in AI tools that support educators while also funding research to understand AI's potential to improve learning. We're also investing in shared resources for the field, benchmarks, data sets for education, as well as supporting capacity building for our nonprofit partners.
No, thanks, Anu. It's so thoughtful as always. So we've had the privilege of working together for many years now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think we've felt has made the Learning and Tech Fund truly unique is the fact that it was co-created.
Yeah.
That it wasn't just one organization's vision, but really a shared effort that was built from the ground up. And that collaboration has led to the fund being more nuanced, more responsive, and ultimately what we think is going to be more impactful. So, for example, it's been powerful to see how in some cases we've been able to seed things right here in New York City. And then you've helped it to grow, taking what was able to gain local momentum and turning it into national impact. I was wondering if you'd be willing to share a few of your reflections on our collaboration and why these types of partnerships can be so important and powerful, especially when it comes to supporting R&D.
Yeah, of course. It's hard to believe that it's been a decade. I've really loved working with you over that time. So our partnership with you, Amber, Robin Hood, and the Learning and Tech Fund has truly been one of the most powerful examples of what collaboration and philanthropy can look like. As Amber mentioned, together we have seeded new ideas in New York City. We have the opportunity to learn quickly from real-world classrooms right here in our own backyard. And we can learn what has the potential to scale if it works. And having that local feedback loop really helps us to test faster and to build smarter. And, through all of that, we also learned that if something can work here in New York City, the largest school district in the US, it often times is a signal that something is ready to scale nationally. And so that's where we come in, as Amber mentioned. As a national funder, we provide the growth funding that helps take local momentum and local lessons and turn it into broader impact. So the 4 organizations that we'll hear from today have all grown thanks to support and guidance from the Learning and Technology Fund and Overdeck Family Foundation. And it truly has been an honor to get to walk alongside them.
Oh, thanks, Sanu. I've really enjoyed this moment of conversation with you and all the work that we've done together. And I'm excited to turn it over to you now.
Yeah.
To invite one of our first speakers and partners to come up and share the incredible work that they're doing. And I'll see you in a little bit.
That sounds great. Thanks, Amber.
Thanks.
So first up today is Sarah Johnson, CEO of Teaching Lab. Hey, Sarah, a partner since 2016. In the last few years, Teaching Lab has curated a collection of high-quality, curriculum-aligned Gen AI tools through its Teaching Lab Studio. The free online hub lets teachers use Gen AI to adapt content to individual students' needs while reducing planning time. Sarah, to start off, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see? I'm curious if you could talk to us about the problem that you and the team identified and why you thought AI was well suited to address it.
Wonderful. Wonderful to see everybody here today. I've been told that I've been holding the microphone incorrectly for years, so let me know if I'm doing a good job now. You're supposed to hold it like an ice cream cone. All right. So I'm Sarah. I lead Teaching Lab. And the simplest way to describe what we do is we teach the teachers. We're really passionate about getting evidence into practice, and we do this through curriculum-based coaching. So we've been supporting teachers and using high-quality curriculum for years, but there's 2 problems with curriculum. 1, teachers say it can be really dense and difficult to use. And 2, it's quite static, and it's not personalized to the needs of the unique students that are in a teacher's classroom. So we actually spent a year in the context of teachers and students learning about their pain points and also actually helping teachers create their own AI-based tools. And then we rolled all of that up into a product. And the product that you're going to see today is called CoTeach.
Cool. Let's see it in action. I think we should get to see.
All right. So imagine you're a teacher and you're teaching 6th grade math. This is an illustrative math-based unit and lesson on converting units. This is what it looks like in a regular platform, and this is CoTeach. So CoTeach is hooked up to the API of illustrative math. You can select the grade, the unit, the lesson, and then you can ask CoTeach anything you want. So this teacher is asking to show them the workbook of this particular lesson, and then they're asking them what is the most important thing to know about the cooldown. And as with all AI, it is very forgiving of typos. And so you can see here that now the AI is actually supporting the teacher in preparing for this lesson. So it's telling the teacher that that is the most important part of that cool down. And then the teacher knows her students really well. And so she's asking it, could you give me a visual representation? Could you add a double number line to this particular workbook? So you can see right here that this curriculum is becoming more dynamic in front of your eyes. And if you know anything about AI, image generation is one of those things that they can be really bad at. So this actually took a lot of effort to generate these images and to get them integrated into this dynamic curriculum. And we actually wrote a paper about it if you want to read it. And so now this teacher also wants to create additional practice problems, and they want the practice problems to be aligned with the cool down. And so co-teach is going to think about this, and then they're going to create some more practice problems that the students can use for homework. And because a lot of teachers, they use Google Classroom and Google Docs, anything that you create in co-teach can be exported and integrated into Google Docs. And then obviously you could integrate that into Google Classroom and push it out to your students, or you could modify it further. That's co-teach.
That's awesome. Well, what I really love about this is that it's aligned to a high quality curriculum, as you mentioned. So a teacher can adapt and edit with the curriculum, which is really awesome. So tell us what's next with Teaching Lab.
So at Teaching Lab, we have an innovation studio, and we're really proud of this studio because we want to be the premier studio to innovate with teachers and for teachers and the students they serve. And we're also proud to say that we have 9 products and projects in development. And right now we have over 10,000 teachers a year trying out some of these tools. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to do 2 things. One, we are trying to have an impact, and that's building on what Anu was saying before. You can count on one hand the number of schools that serve 100% of high poverty students and get 100% of them to learn on grade level. And so we're incredibly passionate about engaging in the R&D required to get that impact. And then additionally, we're trying to create tools that are actually integrated into the workflow of teachers and students, because another big problem is the 5% problem, which is that ed tech tools are only used by 5% of students when they have an impact on students. So it's only 5% of students that are using high impact tools. And we think that's because you're not designing in the context of teachers and students. So we're really looking forward to solving those 2 problems. And please come and talk more to us about this.
That's so great, Sarah. It's really been a privilege to get to know you for the last decade or so. And I just feel really excited for what Teaching Lab has in front of it, and a huge testament to your leadership.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so next up we have David Golkin, Principal Product Manager at TalkingPoints, an Overdeck partner since 2020. TalkingPoints is a tech-enabled family engagement solution that helps educators build effective family-school partnerships through 2-way communication in over 150 languages. Hey, David. With the addition of Gen AI, TalkingPoints is experimenting with in-the-moment suggestions and guidance for both teachers and families that can help improve family engagement and student learning. David, thanks for joining us. So let's start with you quickly telling us about what we're about to see. And same question that I asked Sarah, what problem did you and the team identify, and sort of why did you think AI was well suited to address it?
Thank you so much. So one of the best ways to improve student outcomes is by building strong family-school partnerships. Those partnerships are really more important than ever. The average student is a half grade level behind pre-pandemic achievement in both reading and math, and 1/3 of students are regularly missing class. So in several high poverty areas, over 50% of students are chronically absent, which means they've missed over 10% of the school year. So while partnerships between schools and families can have a huge impact and make a huge difference, building them really isn't easy. So for many schools, communication looks like lots and lots of robocalls, long do not reply emails with dozens of attachments and links, and this all leads to parents tuning out. At TalkingPoints, we built AI-powered tools that make it easy to have personalized conversations in over 150 languages. And so far, we've helped more than 5 million educators and families have over 1 billion conversations to drive student success.
Yeah, that sounds awesome and so useful. So let's see it in action.
So today I'm going to demo TalkingPoints AI-powered at-home activity generator. So typically, when asked how to support students at home, schools give very general suggestions, such as read a book, or we're going ahead.
Oh, can we slow down a little bit?
Yeah.
Going a little too far.
That. Oh.
Can we start the demo one more time? Okay.
So typically, when families ask schools, how can I support my student at home? They give really general suggestions, such as read a book with them or work with them on their homework. With this tool, teachers can set automatically generated and curriculum-aligned activities that families can do at home to support their students. So in this example, a teacher is a first grade teacher sending a math activity home to families. So with a click of a button, they can send a message in the family's home language, and the family can respond in their home language back. This is what it would look like for a Spanish-speaking family. This is what it would look like for a Portuguese-speaking family. And this is what it would look like in English. We've also built numerous other supports to help families. So for example, schools often use acronyms and education terms that families just don't understand. So tools including our education glossary help to explain these terms. We've also built other AI tools like this one that help to re-explain the messages from school in simpler and more accessible language for families. So we collect feedback on all of these explanations to continue to improve the output of these. And really our ultimate goal is to help families feel more connected to their schools and more confident in how they can support their children.
Super helpful, David. I feel like a lot of the problems you identified are just real pain points for so many families. It feels really important. So tell us about what's next for Talking Points and even how you're thinking about success.
Great. So here's what's next for Talking Points. So two things. So first, we're really expanding our focus to specifically build solutions geared towards improving math and literacy outcomes. And then the second thing is really thinking about how we measure and have our ability to measure our impact that we're having. Mm-hmm. So we've seen some really promising results. So for example, in a study done with a large urban school district, Talking Points was found to improve absenteeism by 15% and academic proficiency rates by 7%. And the gains were even more significant among students of color, students with disabilities, and English language learners. So we're super excited to keep building on these foundations and really unlock the home-to-school communication as a way to improve student outcomes.
I love it. It's really impressive early data and results, and excited to see where you all go next. So huge thank you, David. We know effective family engagement is often so difficult to get right. So a tool like this will just be incredibly useful. Okay, so next up, we have Britt Neuhaus, Co-Executive Director of ASSISTments, an Overdeck partner since 2024. Hey, Britt. ASSISTments is a formative math assessment platform that provides students with real-time feedback and teachers with actionable insights into learning needs. The organization has been integrating AI to provide teacher insights into students' learning needs and misconceptions. Welcome.
Thank you.
So same question to start. What problem did you or the team see that really needed to be identified and solved? And why did you think AI was the right way to address it?
I think very aligned to the theme of today. We're very focused on empowering teachers. And a problem we see is that teachers are data rich, but information poor, especially for tech-savvy teachers who are using online learning tools like ours. They're somewhat inundated with data on their students. The challenge is, how do you translate that data into meaningful next steps? And for a student who's learning a new skill, like dividing fractions and maybe struggling, it can be the difference between the teacher really knowing what's going on and supporting them, or a teacher feeling somewhat lost in the sea of 32 kids and a little bit frustrated. And teachers struggle to use data meaningfully on a regular basis for really good reasons. The first is time. It's very time consuming to look at data and draw next steps and conclusions. And the second is data literacy. They're presented with a lot of different data reports, different formats. They're not always super well supported with how to read that information.
Yeah.
So for ASSISTments, this was a really great use of AI in our product because we provide teachers with data on their students in various reports. And AI is really good at summarizing information to save time. And with the right context and the right training, can be pretty good at recommending what to do next.
Okay, great. Let's see it in action.
Sounds good. So we'll start by looking at a data report in ASSISTments. ASSISTments is rigorously proven to improve student achievement by enabling high-quality practice in math. Practice makes perfect, and when you learn a new skill, you need to try it out, make mistakes, learn from the mistake, and try again. So since that's how students experience MAP in ASSISTments, the data we provide teachers is a little more nuanced. You'll see a green chip for got it right, magenta for got it wrong, but also orange, which means a student got it correct eventually. They had multiple tries at the problem and they productively struggled. So you can actually see also what answers a student submitted on each incorrect attempt, whether they accessed a hint within our system. We also know how much time they spent, we know what skill this question is about, and we have data from thousands of students who have completed this exact same assignment. So all of that information is feeding into our AI data summary. The summary goes beyond just saying most kids struggled with problem 2. We're also telling the teacher the specific mistake kids were making so they can reach out and support that kid. A common job to be done for teachers is to pull a small group. So we're going to tell them which 5 kids to pull and reduce that cognitive load. We love catching kids being successful. So we wanted to call out the students who really did well with the assignment. And then just other key trends like how time was spent in the assignment. That can often point to kids rushing, which is something the teacher might want to address. So we've been prototyping this with deep co-design work with 30 teachers across the country. You can see we're collecting survey data right here in our platform every time a summary is generated. The main feedback is keep it short and sweet. Teachers want the key information as quickly as possible. Our most recent data is showing 87% satisfaction on the summaries, so we feel like we are getting somewhere. But we are incorporating some new improvements, including a prompt box at the top so teachers can further customize the summary. And we're also adding some toggles so the summary could better speak to how they're using it. So are they using it during class to support students, or maybe when planning a lesson, reviewing a homework assignment?
I love it. I love it. I wish I had something like this when I was a teacher decades ago, both to get the data and have it in real time, and then to also have recommendations on what to do next. So tell us what's next for ASSISTments.
So we are using AI in a lot of different ways in our product. This is just one. But for this specific workflow, the next step with the feature is actually incorporating a next step. So for the small group that you saw in the summary, there would be a link to an assignment the teacher could work on with those students. For the students who did really, really well, it could link to a challenging task that students can work on. So that's going to further personalize the support that kids are getting. We're also going to be releasing this to half of our teachers so we can really evaluate if this is making a difference in how teachers are engaging with data and how often they're using it to support their students.
I love it. I've also had the privilege to get to know you for almost a decade, and so I just am really thrilled that ASSISTments has your leadership to help take it into its next chapter. Assessments and ASSISTments are such an important and often overlooked part of teaching and learning, and so it's just really exciting to see the opportunities ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks, Britt. Okay, our last demo today will be by Peter Gault, co-founder and executive director of Quill.org, a partner organization since 2019. Hey, Peter. Quill aims to help all students become critical thinkers through the practice of reading and writing. The organization's free online tools use AI to evaluate students' writing, provide immediate feedback and coaching that helps students revise their work and quickly build writing skills. So Peter, same question that I asked all the others. What's the problem that you saw, and why did you think AI was well suited to address it?
So what we really believe is that writing is a superpower. Mm-hmm. And so you look at young people today, being able to write well, being able to explain your own ideas, that really equips you to succeed in life. And that it's really hard to become a good writer, right? You need a lot of practice, a lot of feedback. Yeah. And that when a classroom has, say, 30, 35 students, kids often don't just get enough practice, right? They don't get enough at-bats to practice. They don't get enough feedback. And so this is why AI can be so incredible. Large language models are all about language, right? They can analyze language. They can look at writing. They can give feedback. And so we've been using our own AI since 2018. We really see how powerful the technology can be. It's grown tremendously over the last 6 years. Yeah. And there's just so much potential to be able to help students and give kids more opportunities to become strong writers. And that for Quill, there's a huge opportunity here to help millions and millions of students. And so, yeah, really excited to demo this today with the group.
Cool. So let's see it in action.
So what we're looking at today is a new program focused on AI literacy. And so with Quill, we're not just creating a writing bot, we're creating a program with curriculum in social studies and English and STEM. So this is part of our STEM program. We're looking at different AI concepts and how to introduce kids to these exciting ways that our lives are changing and society is changing. In this case, we're looking at, can large language models help humans talk to whales? So this is a fascinating topic. There's all this new AI research around communicating whale calls and dolphin speech into human language. Kids get a chance to read about it. They get a chance to understand this really exciting research. And in the process, learn about large language models, how they work, why data is so critical. And then they write. And so in this case here, a student might write, they want to speak with whales. In response to this prompt, they press get feedback. Here, Quill says, clear your response and try again. Instead of talking about the mission, explain why they need lots of data. And so the core of Quill is this feedback loop where students write, they get feedback, they revise, they write again, they get feedback. And that back and forth really pushes them to become stronger writers, to explain their ideas more clearly. In this case here, the student revises to say they want to avoid misunderstandings. And this is true that they do want to avoid misunderstandings, but we push the student to go further. We say, now be more specific. What could lead to these misunderstandings? And so here, right, it's about how a small amount of data could lead to an LLM misunderstanding a whale speech. The student revises again, writes, because a small amount of data could lead to misunderstandings. And here Quill says, nice work. Use information from the text to explain why CD needs a large amount of data. And so this back and forth is really powerful. We do it in real time. The students get to write and revise. And it really mimics how a tutor would work one-on-one with a student, providing them with that individualized practice, which up until today has been far too expensive to scale. We've seen during the pandemic a really big push for tutoring, but we've just seen how difficult it is to bring these programs to the 31 million low-income students in the United States who would really benefit from this practice. And so Quill has a really exciting announcement. We've just hit $1 billion of impact through our tutoring work. Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations.
Really excited to share this news. This is breaking news from this past week. What that really looks like is that kids have now done about 40 million hours of practice on Quill. And that with the average tutor salary of around $25 an hour, right, we've created $1 billion of impact as a small nonprofit. And so for us, I think that really speaks to why we're all here today, that these AI tools can have a massive outsized impact on the world. And that if we build it well, we build it as a nonprofit that's focused on helping those who are most disadvantaged, we can really create these massive impacts and really help kids succeed. We believe that tens of millions of kids in the future can become stronger writers and critical thinkers. And so there's a lot in store for us, but it's just been incredible to see the potential impact with this new technology.
That's great, Peter. Congratulations. A really exciting milestone. So you've got lots of new product ideas in the works. Tell us about what's on the horizon.
So the big win for us now is moving into STEM and social studies. We've been helping English teachers for the last 10 years, but it's really clear that writing needs to happen in every class, right? That you're writing in history as you're building a thesis, or you're writing in science as you're explaining a principle. Yeah. And so moving writing into every class, doing it every day is something that was really hard to do without AI. It was so time intensive. Teachers would have to spend hundreds of hours grading assignments. And now we can provide this really meaningful practice that was really hard to do in the past. And so for us, we want to help tens of millions of students, and we want to be in every class and every subject. And that generative AI is playing a critical role in our ability to do so.
Thanks so much, Peter. It's really exciting to see that I think many of us share this belief that critical thinking will be so central to the success of students in this age of AI. So it's really exciting to see how you're thinking about integrating your core work into other content areas. So to close out, I'm going to invite Amber back up onto the stage. Thank you, Peter, to share a quick reflection based on today's demos and presentations. Hey again.
Hey. Wow, that was so inspiring.
Cool to see, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even following their work, just incredible. So what I'm taking away from these 4 powerful demos is really what I think is the promise of AI to help educators bring research-backed instruction to every student, but to do it at scale, with care, and with real impact. I really feel like what we saw was just so transformative and real examples about how humans and technology can entangle and work together with teachers and students at the center of it all. I mean, these are things we've been wishing for decades, right? To see that it might be possible now, I'm so hopeful.
Yeah. And I think even finding the best way to integrate, as we talked about earlier. So, I started by sharing our foundation's goal, which is to sort of really understand and measure whether AI can improve teaching and learning outcomes. And after seeing these demos, I too feel both proud and energized about what's possible, and really excited about the identification of real problems and real solutions. And this just, to me, shows that AI is not a buzzword, but that it really can be a powerful tool to support students and teachers. So we're so proud to support this work, and we're even more excited for what's ahead. And with that, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.